Hope my screen is visible, right?
Visuals.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So we are talking about what are the various areas we can use planning or we can apply planning. So we talked about one is drafting the policies and deciding of safety committee and its objectives and effective functioning. And also the planning is useful to decide the safety targets like zero or minimum accidents, maximum working hours without accidents, or safety education, training awareness programs for workers and public. So where the planning plays a crucial role when it comes to fixing of targets. It is not simple that okay, we'll say that zero or minimum accidents or reduction of 80% of accidents, etc., etc. It is all about what is the basis for fixing at the target. So how you are coming with zero accidents. So for committing for zero accidents, we should have proper backup that planning will brings in. Okay. Then areas of hazards and their detection, inspection, audit, risk assessments, and also measures for their removal and minimization. For this also, we definitely use planning. For one thing, identification of hazards. So what are the various techniques we can use for identification of hazards? And also we look for what are the various audits can be conducted and risk assessment and measures like corrective and preventive actions. For doing all these things, definitely we use planning. Then accident investigation, analysis, cost calculations, introducing safety measures to prevent their reoccurrence. For investigation purposes also, definitely we use planning. So anybody can tell how the investigation requires.
Selecting the team, you should be in the plan, and
Okay.
time for investigation, interviews, and reporting. When we have to give the report, at what duration we have to give the initial report and final report with the safety alert. This one. This will come under
Okay.
planning.
Yeah. Good. So when you talk about planning, there is no exclusions saying that okay, this will not come under planning or this will not come under planning or this specific set of activities will come under planning. So when you say planning, you are making a list of activities or putting your thoughts to achieve something, whatever it is, you name it, doing inspection, you name it, doing an audit, or you name it, doing a risk assessment, or you name it, conducting an accident investigation. So accident investigation is your objective or a goal. So for you need a planning. So how you will plan? Will plan in such a way that, as our friend mentioned, so we choose a committee or list of people. Then we'll plan for one brainstorming session. Then next we visit to the accident site. Then we try to collect some evidences. Then we interview the eyewitnesses and process owners. Then we jot down all the root causes. Then we finalize the real root cause. Then we can look for corrective or preventive actions. Then ultimately we look for implementation part. So these every activity definitely need a planning. Otherwise, we can't complete the investigation because you are not sure until unless you are not planning, you are not sure who are the people required for this investigation. When all your people are meeting for the brainstorming session, then when you are planning to go to the accident site and you are not sure who are the people we need to do an interview to understand the accident. Okay, so who are the implementation people or who is responsible for the corrective actions which we are going to write. So if you do a proper planning, everything will be considered or everything will be sorted or everything will be listed in a appropriate order so that we can effectively or timely complete the audit. Okay, that's why planning is very much important for accident investigations, analysis, and also cost calculations or at least safety measures. When you say cost calculations, maybe we are good at we bring the what are the damages, but we are not good at the costing part. I don't know an equipment part how much it will cost. Maybe a purchase person can very good at doing the costing, so he will have the quotations, he will understand from the machine supplier, so what will be the a piece of a part of a machine, so that there we need definitely intervention of purchase team. Okay, then organization structure, staff, key persons and their roles for safety. Definitely setting up of organization structure. So number of people required, what are the various departments, okay? And also when you talk about safety stewardship, sometimes when you say stewardship, they are not directly under safety department. They are working in different departments, but as an additional role, we'll give some safety responsibilities to them. Okay. It is a kind of again delegation of authority of safety. Okay. Then other one is standards for safety equipments, tools, and also permissible exposures. For this also definitely we need a planning where we discuss about what are the standards for safe operation of equipments, okay, and tools and permissible exposures. When you talk about permissible exposures, we discuss in IS 104 and 106, where we cover the occupational health or occupational hygiene, industrial hygiene, where we cover. Okay. Then next, nature of planning. So it is not about how the planning should be or how the planning look like or how the planning it should fix, or basically when you talk about the nature, how it behaves or how it should be. It is basically a primary and most important function of the management. As we know, it is the first and most important function, in the sense, activity of the management. Then it is goal oriented. So when you are planning something, definitely there will be a goal, right? So you be used to plan the personal trips, right, with the family or friends. So you will definitely plan, okay, so where we have to travel, how everybody is gathered in one place, and either you are going by train and bus or etc. And ultimately, our plan is to complete the trip. Same way for the course also. Okay, it should be definitely goal oriented. It is intellectual or a rational process, like technical process, or it will have so many uh, reasons or etc. It is pervasive. It is comprises of all levels of management. So here basically all levels of the people or the management is involved while planning. So like from the top to middle management or supervisory level management people will be involved. It is a continuous process or a function. So when I say why it is continuous, definitely we are not sure that whatever we planned, they work as we planned. Sometimes we may fail also. So planning is a continuous process. We come up with one plan, definitely we'll have a backup plan. That is nothing but continuous process. We create a plan, we'll execute the plan. If something is not working properly, then immediately we'll shift it to a plan B. Okay, and it is a conscious activity. So when I say conscious activity, we should be very active while you are planning. So if your planning fails, you will not able to achieve your objectives. You can't able to finish your goal. Okay, and it is flexible. So when I say flexible, you should not be so rigid. Rigid in the sense, okay, I have made a plan, nobody should deviate it. Maybe if your planning is fail, then your complete process go as a waste. So we should need the flexibility. So wherever any changes are required, the planning should allow us to do such changes. In the sense, you should not so rigid. The planning should be flexible or dynamic. Forecasting or forward looking is the essence of planning. So in the sense, the future looking or forward looking. So what kind of issues can occur or what kind of issues might come in future. For example, as I took the example of safety training program, so you planned a training program outside. Okay, it is in a open ground. Okay, suddenly there is a rainfall happened. So you should have a backup plan. So what is the backup plan? We'll take everybody to a training hall where we give a demo. Like that, we should have a or idea of forward looking. Then accuracy is essential to planning. So when you say accuracy, how effectively you're planning, how accurately you're planning. It means the results or execution. You may say that, okay, there might be a chance. So when you're planning, it should be 100% or 99.9%, it should correct or it should give the results. And it is a choice of alternatives. Definitely, yes. When you talk about choice of alternatives, maybe we would have planned 3-4 plans. Out of plans, I picked one. Nothing but it is a choice of alternatives. I have many alternatives. Out of that, I have took one. That is the nature. And it is concerned with a group of objectives. Definitely, yes. So when you are doing a planning, even that is a small activity, your main objective may be one to achieve one a major objective. So definitely you have to accomplish n number of smaller objectives. So even we used to say that, okay, instead of getting a goal at one shot, the baby steps are more important. In the sense, slowly we have to reach our goal. We should not plan for at a time you will hit your target. So for hitting the target, you have to definitely do a breakup. You have to make yourself capable and also gathering all the ideas to get that objectives or the infrastructure which is required to reach that goal. And it is an integrated process. Yes, when I say integrated, many people, many functions, many departments, or many stakeholders, top management, middle management. Okay, definitely it is an integrated process. And it is directed towards efficiency and achievement of decided goals. Definitely, yes. So basically, it is the end result is achieving of the planned goals or the decided goals. That is the nature. Okay. Now we'll see some of the limitations or constraints affecting the scope of planning. We talked about the purpose and various areas we can use the planning. I mean, these areas are not limited to, we can write other areas also, but these are the few major areas we definitely use planning. Okay, it is not the limited list. We can write few more points also. And this is a nature of planning. Okay. Now we talk about the limitations. When you are planning, what are the various limitations or constraints, like the problems in scope of planning? They are inaccuracy. That is the one limitation. So whoever is doing the planning is not planned well. That is not accurate planning. It is not giving 100% results, only giving 70%. It is not accurate. Okay. Then time consumption. Definitely yes. For the planning, you have to do so many activities. So definitely it takes time. So spending time also one of the limitation. Okay. Then rigidity. So some of them or any I mean it's depends on person to person. Some people are they have overconfidence on their planning. They'll say that okay, you have to execute as per the plan. They won't consider the practical issues, and they simply say that okay, we have to follow whatever is planned. The rigidity also is one of the problem. So the planning should be flexible, right? It is not that whatever you plan, you can able to execute. Some practical issues also will be there, like where we talk about the implementation of corrective actions and preventive actions. While we are discussing in a room, it seems everything is possible. Then when you went back to the shop floor, where exactly we need to implement the suggested corrective action, we may come up with practical difficulties. So when you are giving any corrective action or suggestion, again, it should be practically or reasonably possible. Again, you can use a smart technique. Like maybe S is not possible, after that you can use. Okay. Attainable or realistic or time bound. You can take ART when you're giving any corrective actions. In the sense, if you're giving something, a suggestion, definitely it can be implementable and also realistic in nature. So it should not like simply saying in a general discussion, and also time bound. So what is the uh, time we can give for implementation of that action? So some of the things may takes months also, because maybe any financials are involved, like the management needs some or give some money or budget allocation. They may take more time also. Some of the corrective actions we can implement immediately. Okay. Again, cost also one of the limit. Number of people involved in planning, or sometimes we may do plan for any sophisticated equipments that might be also a cost. Then attitudes of the management. So again, how the people are taking it, how the management is thinking of about the line. If the management is so rigid, or they feel that okay, this specific plan is okay, then that is also a issue. I mean, the acceptance of management, the flexibility of the management also very important. If their attitudes are not so good, then definitely it is going to be a limitation. Faults in planning system, that is lack of reward or lack of participation or specific activities, and incompetence of the planner. So faults in the planning system itself. So like even if you see in the organizations, you will definitely see the production planning people. So if they're not getting any rewards or recognition, or if the people are not participating effectively or not giving their 100% efforts, definitely it's a failure. Or sometimes the people selected for the planning, they are incompetent. That is also one of the limitation. Okay, these are the few constraints and limitations with respect to planning. Then lack of orientation and training for the managers. This is also one limitation. So because when you say planning, definitely the managers will be involved, right? It is not like that you will take the a shop floor worker, you do a planning. Definitely we go with managers or at least AM and above or senior engineer and above. Then uncertainty, like whatever you planned, it is not happening like that. There is an unexpected problems or unexpected failures reported in between. Then resistance to change. It is nothing but rigidity. Okay, so maybe in the case of any practical issues which comes in, still sometimes the people, they don't want to do a change or do a correction in that. They may say that okay, you have to do it. Then false sense of security. Some people may feel that insecure or while you are performing the activities. Insecurity in the planning. Then environmental concerns like technological, social, legal, or economic and other outside forces, like any rain issues, or if you take an example of any construction project. So in the case of any technological issues happens, if you're doing a slab work, suddenly the slab pumping machine or the concrete pump got failure, or the local people, socially, you're constructing a multi-store building, you are not compensated well with the where you have acquired the land, they may come and do a issue. Even legal issues like your factory has not got authorization or CFO or CFE, consent for establishment. Without taking an approval, you started constructing. That is also legal issues, or lack of money or any other outside factors like political issues or local issues. So these are the constraints of planning. Okay. Now we have seen the purpose or nature, areas, and constraints. Now we'll see the procedure of planning. So how the planning comes up and what are the basic steps we follow while you are planning. Okay. Number one, so identify the problem or opportunity. So basically, it is not about only problem, it is about opportunities also. So when you're planning, definitely you have a problem or you have something to achieve. Then only you do a plan. Then establish objectives or goals. Then you can create your goal or sub goals or small goals to complete, and develop planning premises like land, labor, capital, or market, or money, time, production, or public. So whatever it is, planning premises, or relations, employee relations, or reputation, moral, etc., etc. Then you will determine alternative course of actions. So what are the actions are supposed to be done? Then evaluate alternatives. So in the sense, you will make 3-4 plans. Out of 3-4, then you will assess all the plans. Out of the list, you will choose the best alternative. Okay. Then we select the course of action. When it's a course of action, is nothing but once you selected the planning, immediately what is the next steps. Then formulate derivatives of a final plan and subplans as needed. Then when you finalize the plan to execute, and also you will keep the subplans or the execute the major plan, you will have some alternative subplans. Then the planning is divided into different types. So based on how it is used, like the range of planning, it's based on time schedule. There are three types. So when you talk about the range of planning, we'll say the short term or operational plans for a period up to 1 year. So your plan is to complete this 1 year course. That is your short term plan. As an example of daily operations, repairs, and maintenance plans, purchase plan, product plans, or activity plan that you do for 1 year. Then there is another time bound, which is medium or intermediate plans for a period of more than 1 year and less than 5 years. Okay. Here the example will be proposed products or safety aspects or emergency planning, forecasting of emergencies or refresher courses. In our safety, what we do, medium term planning, we may say that implementation of any fire hydrant system or sprinkler systems installations, etc. Then long-term plans. So these plans are also called as strategic plans for a period of 5, 10, and 15 or more years. Okay. Here the example will be environmental impact assessments, future opportunities, scientific development and its forecasting, future need of people, and also market trends, future expansion or compensations. So this is the range of planning based on the time schedules. One is short term, which is up to 1 year. Then medium term plans, which is up to 5 years, more than 1 year, less than 5 years. Then long term plans, basically from 5, 10, and 15 years. Then we have varieties of plans. When I talk about varieties, different types. When I say type, so it is differentiated by the type of objectives and based on time, single-use plans or repeated use. So when I talk about objectives, like production plan, sales plan, financial plan, or investment plan, expansion plan, these are different types of plans based on your objective. Like the production plan objective is to get the production of 100 tons. Sales plan is to that execution of sales, or the sales has to increase for 10-15%, or financial plan. So you will look for generation of revenue. Investment plan, where we talk about where we can invest, how much we can invest, etc. So the varieties means the different types of plans depends on different categories. One is the based on the objective is one type of variety of plans, and based on time, as we seen in the previous slide, like depends on time schedule, we'll have short, medium, and long term. And single use plans, where the program or projects or budgets, where it is only used once. Then repeated use plans, where we talk about the objectives, policies, procedures, rules, and strategies, where we repeatedly use the plans. Okay, this is the variety of plans based on different classification. Now we talk about the strategic planning, which is more important than the other three, I mean short term and mid term. When you talk about the strategic planning, it is basically 5 years, 10 years, 15 years and more, where we use the long range plans proceed to use for define achieve the organization goals. When you talk about the nature of this strategic or long-term plans, it is a long-term planning to fight the future external forces. Okay, when it's external forces, in our safety perspective, we may look for the climate change, high temperatures, or heavy winds, or floods, or extreme weather. Okay, then we can also think about the future process or the new products which comes in. Okay, we talk about all the controls. Okay, then it is action oriented, flexible, dynamic, and forward looking. So this is the nature of planning as we see. It is action oriented, definitely yes. So whatever the plan you are doing, definitely it should be action oriented. It is not simple that okay, you have created a plan, then you are simply filed and kept in your racks. Definitely you will come up with some actions, right? Then flexible, definitely it should be flexible, it should not be so rigid. Then dynamic, both are same, and forward looking. So when you take a planning, definitely it should be a forward looking plan. Okay, so that you can able to assess the future issues or the problems. Then it deals with basic questions. Definitely yes. And talk about the basic questions. So what is the necessity of this plan, or what is the necessity of this investment? What is the benefits we are going to get on this? So it depends on the type of objective you are looking into. And it is a function of the top management. Definitely yes. The planning and all happens with the top management. The workers are less involved in the planning, because when you are planning something, definitely it defines the organizational goals. You should definitely involve the top management. The workers, they are not able to take any decisions, right? Then it becomes a base for the detailed plans. So when you say strategic planning, you say that in next 15 years, so we have to complete the fire hydrant installation in the all the units in India. So a company is having 15 manufacturing facilities in India. So they have a plan, a long-term plan saying that installation of fire hydrant systems in next 10 years. So they may start with detailed plans for each site. For example, they may start with from one site to another site. They will create a sub plans or detailed plans for each site, because each plant site is different, their layout is different, their geographic locations are different, the suppliers are different. Okay, their working conditions are different, or climatic conditions are different. Accordingly, they will create a detailed plans for each site. Then focuses on energies and resources. Definitely yes. So when you talk about energies, what kind of energies we are available, it depends on the type of objective you take, and also resources. So without resources, we can't execute anything. Resources, whatever it is, either it is technological, human, infrastructure, or natural resources. Definitely we require that. Then it analyzes the environment. Definitely yes. So you are saying, okay, within 10 years it has to be implemented. Maybe next year, immediately the so many floods are there, or there is no supply of the steel pipes for the hydrant system, or there is no supply of scrap or steel to the steel plants. There is no producer of steel pipes at all. Then it will be a problem. Okay. So I'm stopping here. We have only 8 seconds. We'll continue tomorrow evening, same time. Okay.